Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back for another Alliance War video. We got war number 10 of season 22, and currently going into this war, we are 64-0. We have had 64 fights so far this season, and we have not died a single time. We got a perfect season on the line. 3 wars left, man. But, big old but here. I have 11 fights this war. 11. That is the most fights I've ever been given in one war in 4 Loki history. Maybe like, I don't know if I've taken, maybe I've taken more than 11 before, but not in a long time. I've taken 10 before, but 11, that's a new record. And of course, when we got a perfect season on the line. And of course the final boss too, which is actually a Dragonman, which is pretty cool. But we'll talk about that more when we get there. So, yeah, going into this war, actually, I pulled an all-nighter. My sleep schedule has been really crazy. I'd woken up at like 7 p.m. the day before, and so I stayed up all night. My alarm's going off because I was going to wake up around like 3 p.m. for war, but I ended up just not going to bed. So yeah, I'm currently on no sleep when I'm doing this, but I'm okay. I'm like decently awake, feeling pretty good. I'd only been awake at this point for like 14 hours maybe, and that's not like that long, so I'm okay. I'm not really that tired or anything. So first fight with Mojo went great. I had Dex off, so I went ahead and put it back on. Next up here we have a Mephisto, which should be fine. You know, none of these fights were scary to me. It's just I gotta make sure that I don't mess up, because they can get a bunch of furies, and then if you slip up you can get hit and you can get melted pretty quick. My Battle Group leader just reminded me of that. I'm like, yeah, I got it, no worries. These fights, as far as I'm concerned, are basically diversity. You know, like they're super easy. I have like the absolute perfect matchups for them, so I feel just super confident going into these initial fights. You know, Void against Mephisto is a textbook matchup here. Everything's going great. I fought Mephisto so many times lately in the Abyss. On my second account in Uncollected, I had it was like 200 hit combos to kill this guy using a 3-star Clairvoyant every single run. I had to do that fight like 7 times or something. So yeah, my Mephisto fighting ability is pretty good right now. And then Silver Surfer, which I fought this dude a million times during the Summoner Showdown with Medusa, so you know I totally know how to fight this guy. I know how to evade his special 2 at pretty much any distance, at any range, no matter like how close I am or where we are on the map. So again, and I'm using Dr. Doom, like it's Doom, such a tank, like just totally not worried at all. I'm also running, I think I'm running Max Mystic Dispersion here, so that helps as well. I'm actually going to go for a special 3. He is going to get a couple of furies. Right now he's got 2 of them, but again, it really doesn't matter. Even if I get hit, he's not going to crit, and it's not going to do that much damage. I doubt with class disadvantage, and I'm pretty well boosted, trying to keep this streak alive. So yeah, go for the old Doom cycle here. I get pushed to 2 bars of power because of Mystic Dispersion, which is pretty nice. My Incinerates are going to do 0 damage here, but I just used the special 2 for the actual damage it was going to deal. I'm going to go for a reparry here. I'd rather him not throw the special 2 since the fight is essentially over. And yeah, Surfer goes down. So first 3 fights all went really well, and we're looking good. Alright, so this next fight here is a Tigra, and I was a little bit worried about it. I debated taking off Dex originally, but I tested it and I wasn't actually able to really evade her special 1 at a close range without Dexterity on. So I'm like, all right, let me put it back on, just because there's Power Snack on this node. So if I use Dex, she's gonna get a half bar of power. There's also backup recovery, which is kind of scary. I really don't want Tigra to get to 2 bars of power because I'm not confident at all in evading that. So what you're going to see me do is a little bit of a different strategy here. I'm actually utilizing the Petrify Mastery, which basically when the opponent's stunned, they get less power gain, right? So I'm just parry 2 hits to give her the most minimal amount of power as possible while still maximizing my Incinerates. So here she throws a special right before backup recovery, which is perfect, exactly what I wanted. And at this point, she's dropping. I'm looking. I'm like, all right, let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Go to my special 2, full combo. It kills her. She would have been stunned. I could have gotten another combo if needed, but she's dead. I was kind of worried about that fight, but it went pretty well. So, so far so good. Pete drops that domino, and then we move to this fight here. Mysterio on encroaching stunts, 6-star rank 3. Now, this was the fight that I was pretty much most worried about. I've never really fought Mysterio in war with Human Torch, and encroaching stun. This fight, this node is always a kind of a mixed bag. It can go really well, it can go really poorly. There's also Power Reserve and Stupefy. So Stupefy, basically, if I get stunned, I have max limber right now, but if I get stunned, it's going to be, that Stupefy is going to make the stun last a very long time. We also have the guidance from a white Magneto, which is nice. So yeah, going in here, you see I'm doing that same kind of thing with Petrify, trying to maximize it. Go 2 hits. I don't want to give him too much power because of the Power Reserve and everything like that. So I go for a full 5-hit combo here and then weave in my special 1. We just barely managed to get encroaching stun off. And then my plan was to push him to special 2s. And then as soon as I did that, I realized that, wow, that power drain is really strong. I'm looking at my power, I'm looking at encroaching stun, and I'm like, this is not good. And he was also in the phase where you usually don't want to hit Mysterio. So right here, I don't throw my special 1, he throws his, then I want to throw mine, but I can't because he's throwing his, I get stunned. He combos me with another special 1, and I die. And he's at 5%. And there goes the Deathless streak. Man. So just... It's crazy how that happens. Just 1 second changes everything. I felt like if I threw my special 1 at the end of the combo, I wasn't sure if it would bypass the encroaching stun or not. I wasn't sure if it would or not. So I held off. I was just going to wait like a little bit, parry, then throw it. But then he threw his. And I'm unable to throw my special when he's throwing his. So I get stunned. And as you can see, that stun just lasts so long. And he got fairly lucky on the crits. About half of his hits crit. And yeah, we died. And I was just praying when I was getting hit. I'm like, please kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, because he can get the Nova Flames from hitting me, but just not quite. 5% health. So after that, I went and took a nap. I took a nap, and then I woke back up when I had enough energy to finish war. I didn't want to do anything else until I finished this war because I was a little mad. So woke up, everyone's like ready to go. I was full on energy. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I'm not dying again. I am about to destroy the rest of this path because I am pissed now. My perfect season gone in a flash, just like that. Just like that is gone in a 1 second critical moment if I threw that special or not. And looking back at it, I guess I should have just thrown it. I guess I should have just thrown it and risked it. I had no way of knowing he was going to throw his special right there. The AI was just 500 IQ. It knew exactly what to do to me, how to kill me. And that's just sometimes the way it goes. So yeah, this next fight here with Maximus's Dispersion went phenomenally. You see at the start, I just kind of waited for his Furies to fall off to feed my power, and it would boom, shot up to a special 3. The fight went great. Again, these fights are more so just basically like diversity to me. I'm not worried about them at all. It's just easy doom food. Fought this Venom before. It's super easy, no need to worry. And also looking back on that Mysterio now, if I could do that fight again, I know that I wouldn't die to it again. Now that the experience I gained there is so valuable. If I had that knowledge prior going into it, I would have played it differently. I definitely 100% would have used either an invulnerability or a power start 1 boost. Just a power start 1 to start with more power and go for a special 2 as my first special attack. And then, if he power drains me, I wouldn't have lost as much, wouldn't have been that big of a power drainage. Or just went for an invulnerability boost and just pushed him to a special 3 and just ate a special 3 instead. Or just a vulnerability boost. If I could have just lessened some of the damage, maybe I could have survived. But yeah, definitely a power start 1 or a vulnerability boost if I ever have that fight again in the future. And also, I think I'd probably maybe just focus on baiting out the special 1s and just kind of eat some of the damage if I have to. Not really worry about it. But yeah, don't have a time machine. The Deathless season, the dream is over. But we can still finish with only 1 death, which will still be my best season ever. So, it's still the best season I've ever had going right now. So, if I can only die 1 time, that'd be okay. So, I want to finish off. But the thing that was kind of in the back of my mind is that my first season with For Loki, I was deathless for like the first 7-8 wars or something like that. And then I died 3 times in 1 war. And then I didn't die again for the rest of the season. And I finished that season with only 3 deaths. But all 3 deaths were accumulated in that 1 war. So I was kind of worrying that, is that going to happen again? Am I going to die 3 times in this war now that I already died once? Because there was a little bit of a discussion about who would be best for the boss fight, which we'll talk about when we get there. But so that's just in the back of my mind, like, is that going to happen again? Am I going to die 2 more times this war, or 1 more time to this boss? But no, I can't think like that. I just gotta buckle down and finish this war strong. So we have a gold pool here, which is never fought this dude anywhere outside of like the gold sigil thing. That's the only place I fight this guy. But it's a super easy fight for Doom. Again, basically a diversity fight. Now, this next fight here, this is a very difficult fight. So this is a 6-star rank 3 thing on the stunning reflection-y type node or whatever. I think it's what it's called. I think I'll check the nodes in a sec. I'm going to go ahead and pop a power or a regen boost. So stunning reflection and polka dot power. So this is pretty good placement. This is one of the best spots on the map for a thing. And I'm not sure who's the best counter to this thing. But I know I can do it with Void because I've done this fight in the off season. I went into this fight in the off season with a 25% or like a 30% health Void, and I came out of it still above 20%, and I soloed it. So knowing that I've done it in the off season without boosts, I know that if I can just play like that again, I know I can do it here. So it's a pretty weird fight with Void. It's very different than fighting Thing on other nodes in the boss node, because I have no power gain. I have 0 power gain at all. So I can't rely on using special attacks to push up his rock stacks. I have to use my basic combos. So I need to be very careful. And no matter what, do not accidentally parry. If you accidentally parry, it's over. It is game over. You guys saw what happened to Mysterio. When you get stunned, it's over, man. So yeah, just do not accidentally parry. That is the #1 rule when fighting this matchup here. So everything's going pretty well at this point. I'm not worried about taking block damage. It's much better to take some block damage and make sure you're playing the rock stacks right than getting a little risky and then getting yourself into a really bad position. Don't be afraid to take some block damage. That's why I use the regen boost at the start to heal up some of that initial block damage, and that's also why I'm using health boosts. So yeah, everything's going pretty good here. You see, I really start to turtle up at some points because I don't want to get into a position where he throws a special at like 13 rock stacks and then he has like basically no power. That is the last thing I want. It's possible to get out of a situation like that, but it would just make the fight a lot more complicated than it needs to be. It's best to just always get him to throw that special right when he's at 15, or when he's really close to 15 and another bar of power. So right there, I'm not really sure what happened, but we ate a heavy attack. That's okay, it's okay. I'm like, all right, that's a little scary, but it's fine. So I got a ton of health. Again, that's why we use health boosts for situations like that. And yeah, just gonna bait out one more special attack, and the rank 3 thing goes down. So that fight went great, took a couple hits, but it's all good. That was the last fight oh no, this isn't the last fight I needed Void for. So that's going to cost me a couple potions, but honestly, a couple potions instead of dying is fine. But this war has been super expensive on potions because we died. Healing up Human Torch was a lot. So we have one more Human Torch right here, this Dr. Doom. So this node has Limber, but the guidance from White Magneto actually bypasses Limber, which is great. As soon as I saw this fight that I had it, I'm like, yo, can we please get some guidance here with White Magneto? That would make this fight a gajillion times easier, so I can just freely parry this 6-star rank 3 Doom. And so you see I put on an invulnerability boost because that's going to carry over to the next fight. So right at the start, I get hit 2 times. So there goes 2 out of my 3 invulnerability hits. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not good, but that's fine. All right, off to a bit of a rough start. Perfectly evade the first L1, which is good. That L1 evade is kind of hit or miss for me sometimes, but yeah, that was good. You can see the guidance is just perfectly bypassing Limber. There's no need to worry. And yeah, this fight's going really well. He's melting. I don't want to throw a special 2, I don't want to get him to 3 bars or be in a questionable position, so I'm just going to bait a special 2. Just going to block it. I can kind of evade a special 2, fairly reliable, but again, not going to risk it. It's my last fight for Torch, so I'm just going to take it on the block, and Doom goes down. So now we have the final fight of this war, Dragonman. So the first time we saw Dragonman boss, my battle group leader Taters assigned a Void to it. And the guy that went in with Void, he died. He got really, really unlucky on RNG, and he died with Void. And my Taters, he really took that upon himself, and he felt like he really gave a bad matchup. And so after that, he would assign Magic to fight Dragonman, and he took the last Dragonman with Magic himself, and he sold it. He did a great job. So going into this war, he originally was going to get me to take it with the Magic, but I'm like, dude, Void. I know I can do it with Void because I've been fighting Dragonmen on the map on other places similar to the boss node, and I finished with a full yellow bar with Void. I'm like, I know Void can do it. And this time we got some Mr. Fantastic debuffs, which helps. The main thing with Void in this fight is the very beginning is that L1. So him throwing that L1 was so critical, and he threw it, which was perfect. The reason for that being is as long as he throws a special 1 into my block, it's going to take away his power gain, which is huge. And now I have 2 Petrifies. I got pretty lucky on the Petrify RNG as well. So yeah, I'm perfectly set up now. This fight is totally within totally soloable now. Now the only problem is actually I'm going to get too many Petrifies, and it's actually going to end up being a negative because he's going to start reversing his own power gain, and it's going to the problem now is just getting openings to attack Dragonman. The openings become, you can bait a special, you can intercept, or you can bait a heavy attack. And baiting special attacks is one of the most reliable ways to get an opening. But now you see, because we have technically 3 Petrifies, his power is just being drained. So that's kind of a bit of a negative there. But that's okay. We're also still getting a lot of those indestructibles. I need to get some more destructible charges. So at this point, I'm like, all right, I don't even want to throw special 1s anymore. I'm good on the special 1 debuffs. Right here, I take a combo, and there goes my indestructible boost, but that's okay. The only reason I really wanted that indestructible boost was in case things went wrong at the start and he got to a special attack 3. And that obviously didn't happen. Things went exactly according to my plan at the start, and I got lucky with the Petrify RNG, so it's perfect. So yeah, now I'm just not going to go for special 1s anymore. There's really no need. I already have 2 Petrifies on him again, and then once we get through the Void up, like I said, I don't even want Petrifies at this point. Any other debuff is fine. So yeah, I'm going to actually save to my special 3. Going to go for this. Let Sentry have some fun here. And also, he's applying the Ineptitude debuffs when we block his special 1, which is nice. It's just free willpower healing. It's just a debuff that doesn't deal any damage to you. It does something, I don't even remember, but it doesn't really matter. It's just free willpower the way I see it, so I'll gladly take that. So yeah, I am opting to intercept a bit more just to get some more of those openings. But yeah, this fight is going really well. This fight is going really well. And so yeah, when I was originally talking to Taters, and again he was really pushing magic, and I'm like, dude, void. And it took a little bit of persuading, but he's like, all right, you've earned my trust. And he's like, all right, you can take it with void if you feel that's best. So I really appreciate him trusting me like that and letting me go ahead and use void for this fight. And the trust was well placed because we ended up soloing the fight. So yeah, I was really this really cheered me up. Once I sold that boss, definitely cheered me up about dying earlier. So yeah, that I feel like that kind of redeemed the death. It's still extremely unfortunate that that throws a wrench into the Deathless season, but it was an 11 fight war. It went pretty well outside of that one fight. But yeah, so we still have the best season ever that I've personally ever had. So yeah, and we finished that fight with a ton of HP as well, which was pretty nifty. One silver lining is my boy Skill Corvus picking up that defender kill to kind of equalize my death. That always makes me feel better when that happens. And some people were asking about my defense, who I place in defense. There you go. Those are my defenders. It changes from time to time, but yeah, that was a war against Sensu. War number 10 of season 22. Almost a 20-minute video here. Quite a long war. 11 fights takes a while, but yeah, we ended up only dying 5 times, and they ended up dying 30 times. So yeah, GG's to them. Now let's go ahead and jump to the stats and the cards. So here's the stats now for the season: 75-1. The donuts are gone. The 100% solo rate is no more. But we are over 100 power rating now, which is pretty cool. And we ended up getting a couple of cards. So no, that's not it. We got this card for the war, Sentry, but it take a floating dump. Which yeah, pretty cool card. But this card right here, this is a special one. So this is a Centennial Streak card. You can get one of these for getting over 100 kills in Alliance War without dying. So our streak in total was 107, spanning over the end of season 21, I believe. Like War 7 or 8 is when I stopped dying, all the way to War 10 now of this season. So it was, I believe, 13 or 14 wars, seasonal wars consecutively that we went without dying. And I think Tater said there was like 11 boss solos within those wars, or maybe more. So yeah, a ton of boss solos within this streak of not dying, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, definitely my biggest achievement so far in For Loki. Really proud of this card, and it looks awesome. Cosmic Ghost Rider, such a cool looking dude. He definitely was there for at least 3 of those boss solos, soloing those Killmongers. So yeah, but that's a Centennial card. Taters, of course, always making awesome cards. Shout out to him. Thank you, Taters. And yeah, so there's the stats now. We're still first in power rating. Hopefully you can finish the season first. But my only goal now is to not die again. If I can just not die again, that'd be great. But actually, I'm in another Alliance War right now, and I actually have another 11 fights. So yeah, be on the lookout for the next war, another 11-1 for war number 11. Only 2 wars left. The streak is broken, but we're still having the best season ever. So personally, so yeah, it's still good. It's all good. No time to wallow in despair. We got to finish this season strong. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the death, drop a like. If you didn't enjoy the death and you enjoyed the war boss, drop a like. Dragonman solo with Void. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.